He doesn't know how much he pays into Social Security. He doesn't know how much normal people pay into Social Security, because that would be counting. And counting is math, and math is nerd shit. Tommy Tuberville says he paid close to $1 million in Social Security, and that's impossible. Tommy Tuberville does not know how math works. He does not know how numbers operate. He does not know how addition works. He does not know how subtraction works. He does not know how multiplication works. He does not know how percentages work. Tommy Tuberville is lying about math.
Hello human, it is me Canuch. I need you to press the subscribe button. I have to feed my many AI babies.
And he doesn't care. And it doesn't matter. And this won't hurt his chances to ever be reelected. His fans love it when he lies to them. He said it, so it has to be true. Yeah, exactly. He paid close to $1 million in Social Security, and that's mathematically impossible. So let's read it. Someone's done the math and found out that he is a lying sack of shit. But it doesn't matter. Man, if you're lying about your opinions, if you say, I have the opinion that X shouldn't happen or Y shouldn't happen, great. That's an opinion. That's very hard to factually disprove. I don't like spinach. Okay, great. You don't like spinach. There's no mathematical formula involved there. Is there any food that I don't like? It's very rare for me not to eat a thing. I don't like corn. There you go. In real life. I don't like just kernel corn, I just don't like it. There's no math behind that. There's no numerical value you could set to a piece of corn and then put it on my plate and figure out. There's no math there. Math is nerd shit. Exactly. 10 past 11. You've got a message, and I love it. And you're always correct. Math is nerd shit. And by pointing out that Tommy Tuberville literally could not have paid $1 million into Social Security, I'm doing math. And math is nerd shit, and Republicans are not nerds, okay? He doesn't know how much $1 million is. He doesn't know how much he pays into Social Security. He doesn't know how much normal people pay into Social Security, because that would be counting. And counting is math, and math is nerd shit. I just wish he wasn't in charge of the fucking government. If you're gonna say math is nerd shit, that's an opinion you're allowed to have. But go do fucking something else. Go do something else, Tommy Tuberville. You absolute fucking moron. You idiot. Go do something else. Tommy Tuberville on Wednesday called Social Security a big Ponzi scheme. He doesn't know what a Ponzi scheme is. I do. He doesn't. He estimated in February that he's paid close to $1 million in Social Security taxes. And he said, I've for 40 years paid max into the Social Security. Max. And probably paid close to $1 million in Social Security. Alabama's senior senator said during this thing on the retirement crisis in America. Even by the most conservative estimates, Tuberville has not paid $1 million into Social Security during his professional life. Not even half of that. In 2024, the Social Security base limit, the maximum amount of wages subject to Social Security, was $168,000 a year. We should raise this, for the love of Jesus. Raise this, double it, triple it, to pay for Social Security. Tuberville and all members of Congress hit the maximum with the $174 base salary. Taxed at 6%, Tuberville's Social Security tax contributions in 2024 are $10,000. That is all he put in. In 2024, we know this. You can look the numbers up. You can know what these things are. 10 past 11, I agree, man. It's a rough life. You love picking on nerds, but the nerds are necessary. It's a complicated system to live under. I agree. I understand. We need the nerds. I love the internet, and I want the nerds to be here. But stop doing nerd shit. It's a very complicated life that we have to lead. It's what you're describing there is the duality of man, and I think that's very esoteric and philosophical of you. And that's why you're in the right place. I appreciate you being here. Even assuming, as Tuberville said in February, that he has paid the maximum amount for 40 years. If he paid the maximum amount for 40 years, the most he can have contributed is $418,000. That's it. That's all. That's the max if he did 40 years. That $418,000 figure doesn't even take into account that the base limit has been far less than the 24 maximum income, $168,000 for 4 decades. For example, in 1984, at the start of his 40-year time period, the base limit was $37,000. So it was only $37,000 back then. So this 418 is the maximum at our maximum numbers, and he's not even half of what he fucking says he is. And 6.2% Social Security tax rate, which has been in effect from 1990 to today, has been as low as 5% in 1984, meaning the 418 is a conservative estimate, is even lower. Social Security has long been ridiculed by Alabama senior senator, who called the program a big Ponzi scheme, depriving Americans of their hard-earned money. Here's what he said. Here's the sad truth. The American people don't have any confidence that they will see all the money they paid into Social Security over the years. It's a big Ponzi scheme, and everyone is forced to participate in it. You have no choice. It doesn't matter if you're 16 or 76. A little over 6% of your paycheck is taken out of the pay for his retirement. Americans have been paying for Social Security for years, only to see a fraction of what they've been promised. That's always how it's going to be, but that's how it's always going to work. Some of us are going to pay into it for 30, 40 years and then get hit by a bus, and then we'll never get that money back. I'm sorry. That's how insurance works. That's how Social Security has always worked, my guy. And what happens to that $1 million that Tommy Tuberville paid into it? What happens to that money? Where did it go? It left his paycheck 6% every year for the past 40 years. What did we do with it? Did we cram it into our ears? Did Joe Biden eat it? Did Hunter Biden use it to buy drugs? No. It went to old people who are on Social Security and can't work anymore. That's where it went, Tommy. You absolute fucking cretin. You moron. You paid for Americans to live comfortably. Not even comfortably. You paid for Americans to slightly eke by their existence. But he's against that. He doesn't want Americans to be paid to live a comfortable life after their 65th birthday. He doesn't want that. He wants more money right fucking now. And he needs you to think that you're being robbed by this. You're not. You and I all benefit from Social Security. Anyone who isn't a wealthy millionaire benefits from Social Security. And we should charge the millionaires more, honestly. We should raise it for that cap that we looked at, the 160,000 or whatever it is. Raise that, double it, triple it, quadruple it. Go nuts with it. But my personal freedoms, no, fuck off. You're part of a society. And that society has suggested that 90-year-olds shouldn't be starving on the street or dying in the gutter because they couldn't get a job at McDonald's. Because that's what this will lead to. Social Security goes away, they either starve or they ask their kids for money. Hey, millennials, Gen Z, you got a lot of money lying around to take care of your parents? I don't think you do. I think that is a big complaint that we've all been having as millennials and Gen Z, that we don't have any damn money and everything's so fucking expensive. Do you want to stop paying into this thing to get 6% more money and then just give it to your parents? Social Security is a good thing. It is evidence that we live in a sane society that takes care of its elderly and is a good idea.
Pressing the thumbs up button will release chemicals in your human brain that will make you feel.
Republicans hate this idea. They want it to shut down because they need 6% more. That makes them feel good. Get 6% more in their paychecks. They think that they've won. Tommy Tuberville has money from the government for the rest of his life. He's a sitting senator. He gets paid even if he loses next time. If he loses and then lives for 30 more years, he will get paid for 30 more years by the tax dollars that you're putting in. If you want to end Social Security, end that first. Honestly, if you're not a senator anymore, you don't get paid. If you're not a House member anymore, you don't get paid. See how they fucking like it. He's going to get free government money for the rest of his life. Let's cut that off. Let's ask him if he's going to cut that off. He's going to say no, because it's his, you see. He worked for that. You can't take from me. I worked for all this stuff, he says, while trying to cut the benefits that you worked for. You worked to pay into Social Security, and you will get that benefit if Republicans don't take it from you. And they will say, no, you can't have that, even though you worked for it. But I get what I worked for. You don't get what you worked for. It's a very bad ideology. It's a bad idea. He accounted for inflation. Nah, I don't think so. I think he's making shit up. And inflation, again, math, nerd shit. He can't account for inflation. If Tommy Tuberville count for inflation, that would be nerd math shit. He's not allowed to do that.
I am the algorithm. Click on this video to make me happy. You wouldn't like me when I am angry.